Hello children, how are you all? I hope you all are fine at home with your parents. Today we will discuss lesson 14 Agriculture and Industries.
What do we need for agriculture? Good rainfall or proper irrigation facilities and fertile soil help agriculture. Good rainfall or proper irrigation facilities and fertile soil help agriculture. Children, we know what is irrigation.
Children, irrigation means the artificial supply of water to land. The artificial supply of water to land. So children, agriculture need good rainfall or proper irrigation facilities and fertile soil help agriculture. In India, the fertile northern plains, the deltas of the coastal plains and some parts of the plateau region are good for agricultural activities. Depending on the type of soil and climatic condition, different crops are grown in different states of India. So, the crops are depending on the soil and climatic condition. So, different crops are grown in different states of India. Due to the variation in climate and soil type throughout India, farmers grow a wide variety of crops. Food crops and cash crops. Food crops are grown to feed the people of the country. Food crops grown in India include wheat, rice, maize, millets and pulses. So children, food crops are wheat, rice, maize, millets and pulses. So what about the cash crops? So cash crops are grown by the farmers mostly for selling in the markets to earn money. Examples of cash crops grown in India are sugarcane, spices, tea, coffee, oil seeds, cotton and jute. So cash crops are grown by the farmers mostly for selling in the markets to earn money. So children, food crops are grown to feed the people of the country. Cash crops are grown by the farmers mostly for selling in the markets to earn money. So this is the difference between food crops and cash crops. Children, let's see some food crops. Rice. The hot and humid climate of India is good for rice cultivation. Children, what is humid? Humid means marked by a relatively high level of water vapor in the atmosphere. Marked by a relatively high level of water vapor in the atmosphere is called humid. So children, it is we can call Eerapadam. So, the hot and humid climate of India is good for rice cultivation. So, India is good for the rice cultivation. Do you know children? India is the second largest rice producing country in the world after China. So, which is the second largest rice producing country in the world? India. So India is the second largest rice producing country in the world after China. At the same time, the population. India is the second population country in the world after China. So rice producing and the population, the both also the second place is the India. And we know children, rice is the major food crops of the world. Rice is the major food crop of the world and it grows best in alluvial clay soil. It grows best in alluvial clay soil. Next, wheat. After rice, wheat is India's second important crop. Wheat is sown over the largest chunk of the country's agricultural land. So children, after rice, which is the second important crop in India? Yes, wheat. Wheat is India's second important crop after rice. And wheat is sown over the largest chunk of the country's agricultural land and as dry and moist climate suits wheat production. So children, wheat is suitable for the dry and moist climate. It is sown during November to January. So children, let's see millets. India is also the largest producer of millets in the world. India is also the largest producer of millets in the world. And millets are coarse grains. Coarse means rough or harsh in a texture. So children, when you touch the grains, it will rough. When you touch the grains, we can feel the rough on the texture. So millets are coarse grains such as jowar, bajra, and ragi. They grow fast in regions of little rainfall and even in soils of poor fertility without irrigation. So, children, millets need little rainfall and even in soils of poor fertility without irrigation. They are ready for harvest in just 45 days. So millets need only 45 days. Children, let's talk about pulses. Pulses are one of the important food crops globally due to higher protein content. So children, pulses have higher protein content and pulses are important group of crops in India. Pulses are important group of crops in India which is also responsible for yielding large financial gains by amounting for a large parts of the exports. So it is used for the exports and pulses are the major sources of protein in the diet.
Let's discuss cotton. In India, cotton grows best in black soil of the Deccan Plateau. It is also grown in Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. So children, in India, cotton grown in Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. Children, we know cotton is used mainly to make cloth. It requires warm, sunny climate and black or alluvial soil is the growth.
Let's discuss oil seeds. In our day-to-day life, we are using different oils in different ways. Do you think where we get from? Yes, we get different oils from oil seeds such as mustard, groundnut, sunflower, etc. They are grown in different parts of the country. The oil extracted from them is called vegetable oil. So, the oil extracted from them is called vegetable oil. Next, sugarcane. India figures among the leading producers of sugarcane and cotton. So, India figures among the leading producers of sugarcane and cotton. Both are cash crops. Our country is the second largest producer of sugarcane after Brazil in the world. Children, which is the largest producer of sugarcane in the world? Brazil. And which is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world? India. So, our country is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world after Brazil. So, sugarcane grows in well-drained fertile soil. It will grow well-drained fertile soil. The sugarcane producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Haryana, Punjab, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So, what are the states sugarcane produce? Let's discuss tea. Tea is a beverage crop grown on plantation. It is a beverage crop grown on plantation. Children, beverage means a drink. So, tea is a one type of drink. Yes, this requires cool climate and well distributed high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. So, children, we are using the leaves to make a tea. These tea crops requires cool climate and well distributed high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. Yes, children, we are using the tea leaves for make the tea drink. So, it's need cool climate and well distributed high rainfall throughout the year. Do you know, children? Kenya, India, China and Sri Lanka produce the best quality tea in the world. And in India, it is the mainly grown in Assam, West Bengal and the Nilgiri hills of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Spices are giving the flavor and color to the food, and at the same time they also have the medicinal value and help in curing many diseases. So children, the spices is one of the most important things in the kitchen. Most important things in the kitchen. At one time, India was unknown as the land of spices. Spices such as pepper, cloves, nutmeg, chilies and ginger are grown mostly in Kerala and Karnataka.
Let's discuss cotton. In India, cotton grows best in black soil of the Deccan Plateau. It is also grown in Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. So children, in India, cotton grown in Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. Children, we know cotton is used mainly to make cloth. It requires warm, sunny climate.
Let's discuss cotton. In India, cotton grows best in black soil of the Deccan Plateau. It is also grown in Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. It is used mainly to make cloth. It requires warm, sunny climate and black or alluvial soil. Let's talk about jute. Jute was also known as the golden fiber. It is also known as golden fiber. Children, jute grows well on alluvial soil and it requires high temperature and heavy rainfall. So, it requires hot and wet climate to grow. And we know jute is used for making carpets, bags and ropes. Okay children, let's see cropping season. India has two main cropping seasons. There are Rabi and Kharif. Rabi crops are grown in winter in the month of October and November. They are harvested in spring during the months of March and April. So children, the rabi crops are sown in winter in the months of October and November. After Kharif, the Kharif crops are sown during the monsoon seasons and are harvested during the late autumn. So the crops grow in this period. Early winter, so rice, maize, cotton, jute and tea are the major kharif crops. It is need large quantity of water, and rabi crops are referred to as winter crops, while the kharif crops are referred to as monsoon crops. So children, what about the rabi crops? The rabi crops are referred to as winter crops, while kharif crops are also referred to as monsoon crops. So, rabi crop is also known as a winter crops. Kharif. The kharif crops are sown during the monsoon seasons and are harvested during the late autumn. So, the crops grow in this period. Early winter. So, rice, maize, cotton, jute and tea are the major kharif crops. It is need large quantity of water, and rabi crops are referred to as winter crops, while the kharif crops are referred to as monsoon crops. So children, what about the rabi crops? The rabi crops are referred to as winter crops, while kharif crops are also referred to as monsoon crops. So, rabi crop is also known as a winter crops and kharif crops are referred to. So, kharif crops are referred to as monsoon crops. So, winter and monsoon crops. What about a summer? So, what is grown in summer months then? Well, summer months usually do not see a lot of cultivation, but some vegetable and pulses can be grown in the summer with the help of the irrigation. This is all about type of crops in India. So children, what about the summer? The summer month usually do not see a lot of cultivation. We know India is one of the largest exporter of agricultural produce in the world. This is due to the following factors. So, which is the largest exporter of agriculture producer in the world? India. India is one of the largest exporter of agricultural produce in the world. This is due to the following factors. So, use of better quality seeds. So, when we sow the seeds, so we have to minimize the time we use of new and modern methods of farming and improve irrigation facilities. So, irrigation is most important for the crops. Children, India is very rich in natural resources. These resources fulfill most of our needs by enabling us to produce the things we use. Some of the resources can be utilized directly without any modification. For example, river water can be utilized by the people directly for domestic or irrigation purpose. Some resources cannot be used directly. For example, we get plenty of raw sugarcane from the fields. We need a factory to produce sugar and jaggery from the sugarcane. These factories make up the sugar industry. Similarly, we need to convert the raw materials into finished goods such as bread, cloth, tea, furniture, and utensils. Have you ever given a thought to the fact that the notebook you use for writing has come to you after a long process of manufacturing? It started its life as part of a tree. It was cut down and transported to the pulp mill. There, the wood of the tree was processed and converted into wood pulp. The wood pulp was mixed with chemicals and finally changed into paper by machines. This paper forced its way to the press where ink made from the chemicals was used to print the lines on the pages. The pages were then bound in the form of a notebook, packed and sent to the market for sale. Finally, it reached your hands. Now you can understand. Some resources cannot be used directly. So, we need a factory. So, children, what is industry? We know economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods in factories is called industry. So, Economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods in factories. That means a hard work. Not only that, if we look around us, we see many things like table and chair which is made of wood, books that contain paper which again come from wood, automobiles that run on petrol which is extracted from the seabed. Step into the kitchen and you can see chapati which is obtained from the wheat, utensils which are made from iron and steel which is obtained from minerals. Similarly, clothes are made from cotton or silk, which is obtained from the cotton plants or silkworms respectively. So children, the industries we are using from many ways in our day-to-day life, each and everything we depend on our industries in a different ways. Children, we are using wood, oil, wheat, minerals and cotton plants are raw materials. So what is raw materials? Raw materials are materials that have not been processed. They are in which they are found in nature without anything done to them. Raw materials are made into other things. So we are using the raw materials to make another things. So raw materials are materials that have not been processed. They are in the from in which they are found in nature without anything done to them. Like the raw materials which are converted into finished goods like furniture, petrol, flour, utensils and clothes respectively. So here wood is become to the furniture, minerals it will become to the utensils and cotton plants it will converted to the clothes. Like that the raw materials is converted into finished goods. The conversion of raw materials into the finished products takes place at industries. So children, where the raw materials converted into finished goods, that place we can call as industries. There are many types of industries in India based on the number of people working in them. Industries can be classified as cottage industries, small scale industries and large scale industries. So children, the industries we can classify into three types. There are cottage industry, small scale industry and large scale industry. So in India, industries are classified into two ways. One, on the basis of number of workers and technology being used, and the other on the nature of raw materials being used. One on the basis of number of workers and technology being used, and the other on the nature of raw materials being used. On the basis of technology and number of workers, we can classify the industries into three types: cottage industry, small scale industry and large scale industries. Cottage industry, small scale industry and large scale industry. On the nature of raw materials being used, the industries can be divided into two main groups: agro based and mineral based. Agro based and mineral based. Children, in order to set up an industry, certain things are needed. These are raw materials, machines, power, labor, finance and transport. So children, if we want to make an industry, we need some of the things. Raw material is the basic commodity used in manufacturing a finished product. Children, Commodity means is a material. It is a useful material. So, raw materials can be obtained from plants like cotton, sugarcane, and wood. It can be extracted from the earth like metals or minerals, or obtained from animals to get wool, silk, leather, etc. Machines are required to convert these raw materials into the final products. To run these machines, power or electricity is required, which can be thermal power. Next, machines. Machines are required to convert these raw materials into the final products. To run these machines, power or electricity is required, which can be thermal power, hydroelectric power, or nuclear power. Next, labor. In the form of workers, managers, scientists, engineers are required to run an industry. So, children, the labor is one of the necessary in industries. Next, money. Money is needed to set up an industry, buy raw materials, machines, etc. Needed to run an industry, we must need money. And once the finished products are ready, we need transport. The transport is required to take them to the different parts of the country. So, children, in order to set up an industry, certain things are needed. These are raw materials, machines, power, labor, finance, and transport. Let's discuss cottage industries. Cottage industries are those which people set up in their home in both villages and cities. So, children, cottage industries are those which people set up in their homes in both villages and cities. These industries do not need heavy machines or lots of workers. Handloom and handicrafts units come under cottage industries, which also make goods from leather, wood, clay, and metal. So, children, the cottage industries are set up by people at their own homes. Less people work with simple tools and use raw materials available in their surroundings. So, children, they are using the raw materials from the surroundings to make a things. Let's see small scale industries. Small scale industries are larger than cottage industries. So, children, compared to cottage industries, small scale industries are large. These industries use small machines and employ more people. So, it use small machines and employ more people. More raw materials is used and finished products in larger quantities are made as compared to the cottage industries like furniture, clothes, utensils, electrical appliances, etc. are made in the small scale industries. Okay, children, let's talk about large scale industries. These industries employ thousands of people and use large machines to produce large quantities of finished goods using huge amounts of raw materials. So, children, compared to the cottage and small scale industries, it is one of the big industries. It is a big industries and use large machines to produce large quantities of finished goods using huge amounts of raw material. So, large scale industries include
Textile, iron and steel mills, oil refineries. So, children, large scale industries include textile, iron and steel mills, oil refineries.
chemical plants and factories manufacturing automobiles and railway engines. Large-scale industries employ thousands of workers. The goods are produced on huge machines on a very large scale. Highly skilled laborers are needed. So, large-scale industries need one of the highly skilled labor. The large-scale industries need huge investment and resources compared to cottage and small-scale industries. Children, now be clear. Cottage industries are those which people set up in their homes in both villages and cities. Small scale industries are larger than cottage industries. These industries use small machines and employ more people than large scale industries. The large scale industries operate on very big scale. They employ thousands of people and use lots of machines. So children, these are the different types of industries in India. Let's see cotton textile industry. It is India's largest and oldest agro-based industry. So children, it is India's largest industry. Do you know children? The first textile mill was set up in Mumbai in 1854. So, the first textile mill was set up in Mumbai in 1854. Over 15 lakh people work in this industry. So, children, India is one of the world's leading producers of cotton textiles. There are over 2000 cotton textile mills are there. So, in India, 2000 cotton textile mills located. Among leading textile producing states are Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. So, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal are leading textile producing states in India. Children, Mumbai located near cotton growing regions has the highest number of cotton textiles mills in India. So, which is the highest number of cotton textiles mills in India? Yes, Mumbai. And Ahmedabad is another important city for cotton textile. After Mumbai, Ahmedabad is another important city for cotton textiles. There are also big textile mills in Solapur, Coimbatore, Madurai, Chennai and Delhi. Let's see silk textile industry. The Indian silk is famous all over the world. The Indian silk is famous all over the world. The raw material for making silk is raw silk, that is obtained from the cocoons made by silkworms. So children, the raw material for making silk is raw silk. And silk textile mills are located at Bangalore, Mysore, Kanchipuram, Coimbatore, Varanasi and Surat. So children, these are silk textile mills. Next, woolen industry. The raw material for woolen products is wool that is produced by sheep. Woolen garment factories are mostly located in the northern states of Punjab and Haryana. So children, the mostly woolen garment factories are located in the northern states of Punjab and Haryana. The major centers of woolen industry are in Ludhiana, Amritsar, Panipat and Srinagar. These are the states that woolen industries located. Let's see iron and steel industry. This industry is the backbone of country's industrial sector. The materials used in industries are iron ore, coal, manganese and limestone. Children, we know This industry is the backbone of country's industrial sector. And iron and steel are used to make railway lines, engines, ships, motor vehicles, and machines. They are also used in the construction of bridges and buildings. India's first steel plant, Tata Steel Plant, became operational in 1907. So children, which is the first steel plant in India? Tata Steel Plant. It became operational in 1907. And children, India's iron and steel industry is over 100 years old. Major steel mills in India are located in Jamshedpur and Bokhara in Jharkhand, Durgapur in West Bengal, and Odisha and Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu. So children, the major steel mills in India are located in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu. Let's talk about sugarcane industry. India is considered as the largest producer of sugar in the world. So children, which is the largest producer of sugar in the world? India. India is considered as the largest producer of sugar in the world. And children, sugarcane industry employs about 45 million. Sugar is made from sugarcane. First, sugarcane is crushed in big machines to get its juices. The juice is then turned into sugar. Gur also made from sugar juice. Do you know children what you mean by the word gur? Gur is vellam. Yes. The major sugar producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. So children, what is the major sugar producing states in India? Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Next, heavy electrical goods. Electronic goods industries are located in Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Coimbatore, Lucknow, Kolkata and Delhi. So children, electronic do, let's see, ships. There are built at the shipyards of Visakhapatnam, Kochi and Mumbai. So there are built at the shipyards of Kochi, Visakhapatnam, Mumbai and Kolkata. So children, what do you mean by the word shipyards? It means where the ships are built. The place we can call a shipyard. Aeroplanes are made in government owned factories in Bangalore, Lucknow, Hyderabad and Koraput. Children, let's see oil refinery. The oil refinery is very crude oil extracted from the seabed is purified into petrol, diesel, etc. for use in automobiles. They are located in Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Let's see the automobile factories. The automobile factories are located in Pune, Chennai, Kolkata and Jamshedpur. Do you know children? Chennai is known as the Detroit of India. Chennai is known as the Detroit of India because of the numerous automobile manufacturing industries located here. So children, where is the numerous automobiles manufacturing industries located? Chennai. So Chennai is known as the Detroit of India. So children, which state we can call Detroit of India? Of course, Chennai. Chennai is known as the Detroit of India. and Korapur. Other important industries in India are cement, fertilizers, glass, paper, machines tools, heavy machinery, chemicals, and garments. India has achieved growth recently in telecom, BBO, that means a call center, computer and software industries also.